it going, guys? So welcome to day 39. Now this is looking like a very strange leg session. That's because when I trained legs this morning, I didn't have my phone, and so I had no camera. So that was a bit of a tricky one. But the leg session was good. We hit 3 movements. So we did squats, got 5 sets heavy. We then did some walking lunges and then remaining deadlifts. So we hit all the major components that I wanted to, and the weights went up by about a kilo on each one, which I was really happy with. Now the squats, I actually could have gone a bit heavier, but we just don't have the micro plates where I normally go around my mates. I'm going to be getting some so we can go up by a little bit more each time, which is good. But leg session was great, felt good. So I thought I would go over a little bit of a recap. So this is obviously episode 39. So it's been a good month since I very first started doing this little series. And I just thought I'd do a little recap of, some lifts of what basically the type of improvement I've had this month. And sometimes this is quite good just to reflect, because when you're always going up by 1 kilogram, or 2 kilograms, it's sometimes hard to see the progress because you're so focused on where you want to get. Sometimes it is good just to quickly look back at where you were to where you are right now, just to look at the type of progress you've made, and also just if there was any things you can improve on, so you can improve on, let's say, next month or over the next 3 or 4 months as well. So let's use legs as an example, just because obviously leg day was supposed to be today. So if we look back at one of my very first leg sessions I did, going back. Now, if you recall, I literally could only do 2 sets of squats. That was pretty much it, just because my legs just couldn't take it, because I was just so fresh and so new to this type of movement again. Really struggled. So I was hitting around the 70, so about 70 kilos, around that, for some heavy sets of 4, and then actually could only get 2 at the end of it. And now we're up into the 90s. Into the 100. So we hit 100 today, which was great. So if you look at that, so we hit 30 kilos. So increased my squat by 30 kilos in 1 month. Well, in 40 days. Now, that's not a true reflection of progress. That is because I've gone from having muscle memory, not doing the exercise for a very long period of time, and then now slowly improving back to where I should be at my base level, if that makes sense. So I would call now, after about 5 weeks of training, my base level to really improve. The first 6 weeks is what I call getting back into it, which is why I didn't take many supplements. I just wanted my body to feel the rawness, get the natural body working with the right food, figuring out my hydration, etc. And then now this week, I've implemented creatine, implemented some protein shakes, and then that will just get better over time as well. So that's 30 kilograms improvement in the squat. Now, obviously that won't happen again over the next 30, 40 days. It's going to be probably I'd say half that, about 15 kilos, and then it will go down to about 10 kilos. And so if I can improve now my squat by 10 kilograms a month, 2.5 kilograms each week, so 1.25 each side, that'd be amazing. Such a great increase of weight. Then over the course of the next 6 months, if I can increase up to 60 kilos, so let's say I'm doing 100 kilos for 3 sets of 5, I can get to 160 in 6 months. And then by the end of the year, so where are we now? May, June, July, August, November, December. So if I can be hitting around the 180 kilograms of 4 plates by end of this year, but doing 3 sets of 5, I would be ecstatic, absolutely ecstatic. So that's a very quick progress. And then the start of next year, going after that 200 kilogram squat for sets of 5, that'd be amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'll be over the moon with that. So that's the big focus on legs. So the other one is bench press. So with bench press, again, going back, I was only hitting around the 90 kilogram mark. Now that had a little bit more of improvement on, just because I'd obviously, if you include push-ups, just some natural pushing movements with working out, exercising, obviously chest was stimulated a little bit more than my legs were. So I've only increased 20 kilos, which is still fantastic. Don't get me wrong, I'm just comparing it to the squat. 20 kilograms in a month. So now I'm hoping, probably for the next 3 months, if I can still increase by 10 kilos, that'd be really happy. And then realistically, it's going to probably half that, drop down to 5. So if I can go from, let's say, 110 for 3 sets of 5, let's just use that as example roughly right now. And then in 3 months, I can be hitting 140, 3 sets of 5. That would be really good. And then over the course up to Christmas, let's say I'm realistically hitting 160 for 3 sets of 5, and then hitting the 4 plates New Year. That would be great. So that's the bench press. So very happy with that progress. And again, just slowly. And then overhead press. So that's gone from probably only 40 kilos to now hitting, what did we hit the other day? We were doing 63 kilos on that. So that was good. So again, that's another 23 kilograms improvement actually on there. So that's huge, especially for shoulders. Like I said, 1 kilogram a week on shoulder press is insane, because if I kept that up, I'm gonna be doing 100 kilograms for 3 sets of 5 by Christmas. And if I can just do 1 rep on 100 kilograms by Christmas this year, that would be freaking awesome. I'd be over the moon with that. So realistically, by the end of the year, from now, I'm only going to be probably going up 1 kilogram, and then probably even half that. So I'm going to be going like 0.5 kilograms a week on my press. So if I can get to 100 for 1 by Christmas, that'd be incredible. So that's squat, that's chest, that's press. So back work's been an interesting one because it's been more of a play. Because I'm always happy with my pull-ups, doing sets of 15, and I'll just gently add weight to that. And then with bent over row, I'd like to get strong again. I used to have a really good bent over row. Used to be able to hit, 140 kilograms for sets of 8 reps. So I'd like to get that type of weight again. That's going to take all year, because I'm probably hitting 100 kilograms right now for sets of 5. That's just a normal. That's not with a deficit, being at a slightly elevated position where I can get a better stretch. That is just purely a normal row. So yeah, I would definitely be really happy with getting that back up to 3 plates, 140 kilos by the end of the year. That's just core related. Back strength is there. That's just holding the position with that contraction, with that one. So that one I'm okay with, and that will come back over time. Now the big one is arms. The big one, this is the whole mission, is the going after the big 21-inch arms. Obviously that is pumped. So if I can get soft 20-inch arms around that, and then pumped up like crazy 21-inch, that I would be ecstatic to get that by next year. So curl wise, it's going to have to be very strong. Realistically, I'm going to have to be curling, 70, 80 kilograms for reps. And overhead skull crushers the same sort of weight. And obviously I've basically got to put a lot more work into my arms, but with the heavy back, the heavy chest, and the heavy press, all of that is going to help, especially with my arm strength. So it all comes hand in hand, and then doing the heavy legs just really helps increase that nervous system, increase all the body to just withstand the heavy weight. So it all comes hand in hand, and there's going to be a little bit more volume in the arms just to get that pump, get that hypertrophy really in effect. So the standing curl, realistically, I'm at doing 45 kilos for 3 sets of 12. That needs to be up to 60 kilos, 3 sets of 12, and potentially even more, maybe 70. which we'll get there. I've lifted that type of weight before, so we can get there again. So it'll be good, it'll be fun, exciting. So overall, it's been a great improvement from where I first started about 40 days ago to now. And what I'm more amazed at is that with that first week of training, if you go back to my very first week of videos, I could barely do anything. Everything was a struggle. Everything just didn't work. Everything was hard. Now it feels like every workout I'm getting a decent 3-4 exercises in. I'm getting 2 or 3 supersets in. My intensity is coming up. My reps are going up. My weight's going up, which is great. So it's really good just to look back at where you were sometimes and to see where you are right now, and so you can then see that progression. You can see the journey and how it's going to develop because of the sort of improvement you've had. So now it's just about focusing on more food, getting a little bit better at my recovery, so therefore I don't get as tired from my workouts to have better workouts. So I hope this has been a little bit of an informative video, just to help show you that you need to look back sometimes at where you were to where you are right now and what the progression you can make in the future. And it gives you that confidence, gives you that motivation to go, wow, I actually improved by that much. Now let's really go for it. And now let's see what type of weights we can look at in the next 2 months, 3 months. And it's going to be interesting to see doing another video in another 30, 40 days like this to see where we're at and what we've improved on. See if we can improve on by about 10 kilos in each movement, which should be awesome. So have a great evening, everybody. Tomorrow will be a good session, and I'll actually record the next session, and we should get should be arms tomorrow. Or depending how the week's going to plan out, which I need to sort out a bit later and tomorrow morning, it might have to be a rest day tomorrow and then training Tuesday morning, but we're going to see. So every day is a mystery. Right, that lovely note. I'm going to take the woofs out and then grab some food and then have a early night ready for a good start of the week. So I'll see you soon.